Okay, hi, good evening. This is Bob Reyes from the Mozilla Philippines Community. This is the MozillaPH online meetup for March 2022. For tonight, our topic is Mozilla IoT or Web of Things. But before that, let's go and check who's in the call for tonight. So good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. So we have Jezreel, John Anthony, Jose, Kirkjan, and Micheline. And to those who will be joining us by remotely, yeah, so this is the live stream recording. So a look back of how Mozilla started. So just a quick story. So we started as an offshoot of Netscape in 1998. So there was a project called Mozilla.org, and it was basically the open sourcing of the Netscape communicator source code. So balik. So that will be March 31, 1998. So a few days from now is March 31. So yeah, we can celebrate online. Post how you love Firefox and different Mozilla products. As a nonprofit, we have a guiding manifesto and our pledge is for a healthy internet. So to summarize, so we are committed to an internet that includes all the peoples of the earth, where a person's demographic characteristics do not determine their online access, opportunities, or quality of experience. We are committed to an internet that promotes civil discourse, human dignity, and individual expression. We are committed to an internet that elevates critical thinking, reasoned argument, shared knowledge, and verifiable facts. And we are also committed to an internet that catalyzes collaboration among diverse communities working together for a common good. So here in the Philippines, we started operating in 2009. And at present, the leadership of Mozilla Philippines is composed of 4 Mozilla reps, 2 regional coordinators, and 8 core members. What is keeping us busy? So we are localizing Firefox into Tagalog, Cebuano, and Hiligaynon. We are also advocating free and open source software, online security and privacy by means of social media, online events like this one, participating in lawmaking procedures, and many more. We are also creating a learning management system with contents related to localization, privacy, web development, and Rust programming. We have an announcement later related to Rust programming. We are best known for Firefox, the web browser, and this has been our mantra. So we are committed to you, your privacy, and an open web. And when we talk about Firefox, it's a family of products composed of the web browser, Firefox Monitor, and many more. So here we can see the different flavors of Firefox. We have nightly, developer, and beta. We also have Firefox for Android and iOS for mobile. So you can actually sync your data from your desktop Firefox to your Firefox mobile. And we have the latest version of Firefox. And also, we also have Firefox Relay. If you don't want to share your real email address to websites or to other people, you may want to create a relay email address or an email forwarder. So you can go check it out. It's a free service via relay.firefox.com. We want to thank friends of Mozilla Philippines. And here in the Philippines, our partner is apper.ph. So they are our sponsor for our Zoom Pro account. Maraming salamat to our friends at apper.ph. How to join the Mozilla Philippines community? Very easy. Just go to join.mozillaph.org, and we need people to use and test our products, to spread the word about free and open source software, people who are willing to learn and to be trained in helping other people become web literate, and simply by making other people or people on the web more awesome online. We are active on social media and we have different channels. So para madaling tandaan, just go to link3 /MozillaPH. All the links are there. So click nyo na lang. So link 3 /MozillaPH, or can go to each of check our individual social media channels. if you need to get in touch with Mozilla Philippines Community, if you have events in your school or organization, and you need someone to speak about Mozilla, our technologies, and our advocacies, please feel free to send us an email via info@mozillaphilippines.org or chat with us via chat.mozilla.org and search for the Mozilla Philippines chat room. Announcements, just like what I mentioned earlier. So one is that this week we had launched MDN Plus, okay, the Mozilla Developer Network Plus. It's a subscription model for MDN, and it's now available in selected countries. Soon, hopefully in the Philippines. So more info is available via hacks.mozilla.org. We also released our vision for the evolution of the web. It's available via the microsite webvision.mozilla.org. And something related to learning. Soon, we will be conducting a Rust 101 for absolute newbies online. We did something like this a few years back, but it's on a face-to-face classroom type of learning. So this time, we are going to experiment and conduct it online. So announcements will be done via email and social media channels of Mozilla Philippines this coming week. We are also, there are also ongoing localization projects related to Tagalog, Cebuano, Hiligaynon. Just go to pontoon.mozilla.org and check. There are other languages there, but our focus is primarily on Tagalog, Cebuano, and Hiligaynon. Okay, so let's go and have the ball rolling for Mozilla IoT, Web of Things. Okay, so we know that IoT stands for Internet of Things, but my first question for our attendees here in the room tonight would be, what is IoT for you? So IoT means the Internet of Things, but if you will be asked, what is IoT for you? Maybe a phrase or a word. Anyone? Feel free to unmute yourself. What is IoT for you? Or kahit sa chat, kung naiiyak kayo. Pag tinanong kayo, ano ba yung IoT na yan? Or do you use IoT at home or at the office? Or if you have projects that deals with Internet of Things? Later, I'll be giving an example that is personal to me. So ganito na lang siguro. So IoT describes the physical objects or group of objects that are embedded with sensors, processing ability, software, and other technologies that can connect and exchange data. So these are different gadgets that can talk to one another. It can be a sensor, can be a standalone device, etc. Okay, and the way they talk to one another, they exchange data is by means of internet and other communication networks. The most common of which is Bluetooth. Okay, so devices need not to be connected to the public internet. So for as long as there is a network, so they only need to be connected to a network and be individually addressable. So my next question for our attendees would be, what IoT devices do you have at home? If you have any. I have with me here. So, kikita ba yan? There. So, unahan. So, what IoT devices do you have at home? Anyone wants to share? So, sabi ni Jersukan is connected devices using internet. Cool. So, what devices do you have that is related to IoT? Okay. So, Felix said smart TV. Yeah, cool. I will have an example about that. Mozilla had a project related to smart gadgets before. Sino pa? So what IoT devices do you have? Kakaroon sa ulo ko. Okay, so yeah, so we can have several devices that can run on IoT stuff, and this is how I personally use IoT here at home. So I have these devices, except for one that is not on with a photo. So I have a smart speaker. It's the gray round thing here. It's basically a Google device. I have smart LED bulbs. So I have one here. It can be colored and it can be the white one. I have smart sockets so that I can control how to turn on and off my devices. I have an air quality monitor so that I know if uh, how good the air is in a particular place. So portable siya. I have a fitness band, this one, for health monitoring, and I have air circulator and purifier, the white one, yung malaking parang electric fan na sa gilid. And there are several temperatures and humidity sensors. Hindi ko siya na-picturean pero it's stocked all throughout the house. So, what is the use case of IoT for me? So personally, I can control some of the appliances here at home, like the electric fan, air purifier, computer monitor, etc. Okay, so that even if I am outside of the house, I am able to check, di ba? Pwede ko sabihin na, napatay ko ba yung napatay ko ba yung electric fan, napatay ko ba yung monitor ko, etc. Kasi di ba yun yung common na pinagsisimulan ng sunog pagka walang bantay walang tao sa bahay, tapos naiwan mo nakasaksak yung mga appliances, tapos nag-overheat, etc. Okay? So, with the use of my smartphone, I can remotely turn on or turn off this gadget. So, lalo na electric fan. So, let's say, galing ka sa labas, mainit, so gusto mo pagdating mo, medyo cool na yung kwarto mo, so pwede mong remotely i-turn on siya using the app on my smartphone. Okay? So, pwede yon. Ano pa? The lighting, the lighting, not light, the lighting inside the home office is controlled by the smart speaker. Yung smart speaker is the Google Home. Okay, so I use a bright white bulb, the one that I'm using now, that can change color and brightness during daytime. So while you're working, and then at nighttime para mapahinga na yung mata. So I can switch to the warm white bulb, yung medyo yellowish, okay? And then it is on all throughout the night and it automatically turns off by 8 a.m. or by sunrise. So depende sa setting. Pwede ko siya iset na automatically by 8 a.m. or by sunrise. Of course, nasa app din yon, okay? Then the bright white bulb will automatically turn on, etc. My fitness band, okay, records how many steps I took in a day. During this pandemic, so kailangan nating alagaan yung ating health. So medyo kailangan i-monitor yung mga ganong bagay. So it can record my steps, my heartbeat, my SpO2 level, etc. Okay? Pati ang yung kung ilang oras ka natulog sa gabi. Yun ang pinakamahalaga. Okay? So I can also control music if I am outside. If I'm on the go, hindi ko kailangang ilabas yung smartphone ko. So pwede kong kontrolin yung music through my smart band. Tapos with several temperature and humidity and air quality monitors all throughout this place, I can play with data that I collected to plan efficient use of electricity for cooling, especially now na napakainit, hindi medyo mainit, napakainit. Okay? So para at least medyo alam mo kung paano siya paglaruan, napakainit and mahal ang kuryente. So if you know how to play with data, at least you have baseline data that you can use to play kung saan kailangan ng cooling, anong oras, etc. So yun. For my smart speaker, of course, you can ask quick questions, set timers and reminders, etc. If you have several of this device all throughout the house, you can actually make it function like a public address system. So pwede ka mag-broadcast. Halimbawa, nasa kwarto ka lang, tapos meron din ganyan sa baba. So pwede sila mag-broadcast kahit sinong tao. Sabihin nila, kainan na. So pwede na tayong bumaba lahat. Okay, pwede nang kumain. Something like that. Okay? I have a colleague sa Mozilla Philippines. Nag-iisa siya sa condo. So he got himself a smart speaker para meron siyang kausap. So pagka naboborn siya, at least meron siyang kausap. So it's like, yeah, it's an AI powered smart speaker. So something like that. Hindi siya ganun kamahalan. It's reasonably priced, pero of course, it needs electricity and internet to run. So this is the use case of IoT for me, personally. Now, there is one problem with my current setup. So my current setup runs basically on the ecosystem of Google. Okay. If one device that I wish to if there's one device that I wish to add to my ecosystem, it is not certified by Google, medyo mahihirapan ako. Okay? So sabi ni Coach Rai, yeah, parang yung sa startup na scene yun na, kausap yung speaker. Papanoorin ko pa lang, hindi ko pa napapanood yun. So yun, actually baka napanood nila yun. So yun, so yung isang kasama ko, ganun ginawa niya, bumili siya ng smart speaker para may kausap siya. He's a developer and working from home. So at least may kausap siya na smart speaker. Buti hindi siya nag-activate eh. So when he hears that I said Google, mag-activate siya. So ngayon, hindi niya na niririnig yung sinasabi ko, okay lang. So, throwback. A few years back, at Mozilla, we had our early attempts on IoT. And it is via the operating system called Firefox OS. So, that was in February 2013, but we had been working for several years before the launch. Okay? So ginagamit na namin siya internally, and it was officially launched in Feb 2013. It's an open source operating system for smartphones, tablet computers, smart TVs, and dongles. So it's called Firefox OS. Here in the Philippines, we had one manufacturer, Cherry Mobile. They launched one device called the Cherry Mobile Ace, and it runs on Firefox OS. The promise of Firefox OS is to bring smartphones to the masses. The one that was launched in the Philippines, the price was something like 699 or 599. Basta, it's cheap, pero it's a smartphone. Firefox OS is based on the Gecko rendering engine, and the Gecko rendering engine is the one used by the Firefox web browser, and it has a Linux kernel. So, diba? We know that the Linux kernel is it has stability and it has the security functionalities, etc. Okay, and from the app creation side, apps for Firefox OS use open standards like HTML5 and JavaScript. So if you know how to create web apps, the one that we call as web apps now, okay, gagana yan sa Firefox OS. So ganun siya kadali. So when we were teaching students, professionals, how to create apps for Firefox OS, kailangan mo lang marunong kang gumawa ng web apps. That's it. Gagana yan sa operating system na yon. The likes of Grab, and then what's this? I forgot yung kalaban niya pa na taxi hailing app dito sa Pilipinas. They had versions for Firefox OS during that time. And there are several games that we created. Lahat yon puro HTML5 based. Fast forward, okay? So Firefox OS had its last release in 2015. So I don't want to say that it was a failure, but maybe commercially it was, okay? Remember, we are a non-profit and something commercial is not our turf, okay? So in 2015, there was the last version of Firefox OS as we know it, okay? But it transitioned into an open source, it went back to its open source roots, okay? And it's called the Boot2Gecko project or Boot2Gecko OS, okay? Until now, it's ongoing. Just search sa GitHub, Boot2Gecko or B2G. It's there. And many companies continue development for Boot2Gecko, okay? Including one, the one on photo here. This is the Nokia. Anyone? You know, who knows what model number this is? Anong Nokia to? Nokia. Anyone? You can speak up or just chat it. Makakahula. Walang mag-google. Anong model number nitong banana phone? This is the Nokia. Anyone? Kita niyo yung oras, it says 8:11. So it's not the Nokia 811, it's actually the Nokia 8110. Okay? So this one uses an operating system developed by KaiOS. Okay? So si KaiOS, it's a software company that creates mobile operating systems, and they forked Boot2Gecko B2G. Okay, the Nokia 8110, the banana phone that we see here now, binebenta pa yan hanggang ngayon. This is relatively new. It's powered by KaiOS, and as of today, there are something like 23 million devices running on KaiOS with more than 500 apps on their app store. Okay, 810, hindi ba green yung banana phone na yon? I think that was the older 8110. This is the newer code try na 8110. So yung una yata is I think yung unang banana phone was the 7110, tapos nagkaroon pa ng 7210. Yun ang alam ko na green. Tapos this one is the KaiOS powered one. The one is yung original na Nokia Java operating system. Tapos, companies like Panasonic, they had smart TV units that are technically still powered by Firefox OS. When you go to the appliance centers, look for Panasonic smart TVs and sasabihin nila that it is running on home screen. It's basically Firefox OS. Okay? So, ganyan itsura niya. So, imagine from a smartphone, even tablets, yung tablet, it's a test device. I had one. So, we are able to power it up with Firefox OS, and then we have TVs running on Firefox OS. Now, okay, going to the future. So, yun yung simula namin. We had experiments with IoT using Firefox OS. And now, we have Web of Things. So what is the Web of Things? So the Web of Things connects real-world objects to the World Wide Web. So the basic idea here is to create a decentralized IoT by giving things website addresses so that they are linkable and discoverable, and to be able to define a standard data model plus a set of APIs to make them interoperable. So remember yung dilemma ko kanina that on my setup, they are all powered by Google. Okay, what if I want to create my own device and connect it to my existing setup? Technically, that's possible, but chances are medyo mahirap. Okay, so yung Web of Things na concept is intended as a unifying application layer for Internet of Things. So we link together multiple underlying IoT protocols using existing web technologies. So ano yung mga IoT protocols na pwede? So pwede ang Zigbee, pwede ang Z-Wave, of course I mentioned Bluetooth, HomeKit ni Apple, pwede rin, and Weave. So just to name some. So at least they can be interoperable when we talk about Web of Things. Okay. The Web of Things is currently a standardization that is in the works at W3C, okay, World Wide Web Consortium, and Mozilla is a member of the Web of Things interest group. So our proposal is described by the WebThings API. Okay, so Web of Things, and then Mozilla has what we call as the WebThings API. So yan yung pinaka-setup niya. And now, okay, so yung dati tinatawag namin siya na Mozilla WebThings, ngayon WebThings na lang siya. Bakit? Yung WebThings kasi is an open source implementation ng Web of Things. Okay? Kasi 'di ba, remember, different protocols talking to one another. So syempre meron pa rin doon components na hindi open source. So what we want is to have an open source implementation of it So it has three basic components. The WebThings gateway, the WebThings framework, and the WebThings cloud. Okay? Yung WebThings ay isang project na sinimulan sa Mozilla around 4 years ago, and it has now spun into an independent open source project. Okay, so just like with what different projects that started at Mozilla, so now it's just WebThings. Hindi na namin siya tinatawag na Mozilla WebThings. So minsan mahirap kalimutan, so nadudulas pa rin na Mozilla WebThings. Pero WebThings will do. So let's talk about the three components of WebThings. So first one is the gateway. So ano ba yung gateway ng WebThings? So this is the software distribution for smart home gateways, which will allow users to basically monitor and control their smart home over the web without a middleman. So yun ang keyword, without a middleman. Okay? Bakit mahalaga na walang middleman? Later, when we talk about privacy and IoT, doon lalabas bakit mahalaga na walang middleman. Okay? It provides a web-based user interface, something like this, what you see on the screen. Okay? To monitor and control smart home devices. It has a rules engine, just like what I'm using on my smartphone. So, pwede ako mag-set ng rules to automate. So, pwede ilagay doon na pagpatak ng 8 a.m., papatayin yung ilaw, bubukas yung isang ilaw para maliwanag, magising na ako, tutunog yung alarm, etc. Pwede nga sabihin sa akin kung ano yung appointments ko that day, ano yung weather, what to expect, etc. So, same thing here. So, pwede mo, kung meron kang ilaw sa driveway or sa labas ng bahay nyo, so pwede mo siyang iset that pagka sumikat na yung araw, automatic na siya mamamatay. So, at least medyo tipid ka sa kuryente. Kasi di ba, if you have something like that running all throughout the night and nagising ka ng 9 a.m., doon mo palang papatayin yung ilaw. What if i-automate mo siya using WebThings gateway, tapos automatic, say set mo ng 6 a.m. By 6 a.m., automatic mamamatay na yung ilaw na yun. Medyo tipid ka sa kuryente. Okay? So yung WebThings gateway also has an add-on system so that developers and device manufacturers can extend the gateway with support for a wide range of existing smart home devices. So it's an open source standard that is under development right now. You can also build your own WebThings gateway. Merong available na WebThings gateway for Raspberry Pi, for Linux, and for Docker. So, ganon. The one on photo here, it's actually a prototype of the WebThings gateway na board mismo. Okay, so merong ginagawang ganyan. Our friends at Mozilla Taiwan used to have something similar, pero red yung board nila. I'm not sure if it is commercially available, pero yun, I can ask them if they can send us some if they are able. So medyo mahirap ang logistics during this pandemic eh. So yon. The next thing, so that's the gateway. The second thing is the WebThings framework. So what does it entail? It's a collection of reusable software components. Okay? So this one is for developers so that they are able to build their own WebThings which directly exposes the WebThing API. So ano ang programming languages na pwedeng gamitin? So you can have Node.js, Python, Java, C++, the one being used for Arduino, and of course, Rust programming. Okay. And lastly, we have the WebThings cloud. Okay. So we have the gateway, we have the what do you call this? The framework, and then we have the cloud. Okay. So para saan naman yon? Diba? Remember, yung Internet of Things need a network. And most of the time, the network is the internet. Okay? So here, yung WebThings Cloud is a collection of cloud services for remotely managing WebThings over the internet. Okay? So if you want to create your own net, walang problema. Okay? But syempre, bakit mo pahihirapan yung sarili mo kung meron namang ready-made? Okay? So it provides a remote access service which can create an end-to-end encrypted tunnel between Web of Things gateway or device, and a Web of Things client for secured access over the internet. Okay? So now, punta na tayo doon. So, hindi kumpleto ang isang project kung sa Mozilla pag hindi natin pinag-usapan yung privacy. So, Mozilla IoT privacy is defined, it's illustrated, best illustrated like this. Okay? So, the one on the right is if the typical IoT approach. Okay? So, vendors collect all your data in their cloud for their use and completely control what you can see through their apps. Okay, so you have an app on your smartphone, you send commands, those commands or even your voice gets sent to their private cloud, and then whatever your command is, it goes through your cloud and then sent to your IoT device. Okay, just like the speaker that I have on my in my front right now. Okay? So lahat ng commands ko diyan, nare-record niya yung boses ko. Pwede ba akong kumuha ng dataset na yon? Hindi. Sila lang ang pwedeng gumamit nun. Okay? Saan nila pwedeng gamitin? Hindi ko alam. Pwede nilang ibenta? Malamang. Pwede na ginagawa nila yon. Okay? So yung nasa left, this is the Mozilla IoT privacy schema. Okay? So all data stays local to your devices and it is always under your control. Bakit? Yung internet, yung cloud, is just a tunnel. It's just a secured HTTP tunnel. So you have your browser or your web app on your smartphone. It goes to an HTTP tunnel and then goes directly to the IoT device. Walang nasisave sa cloud. Walang third party. Okay? So yung do sa typical IoT approach, may third party. Dito sa Mozilla IoT privacy, walang third party. Okay? So yun, ganyan yung setup na sinasabi namin. And that's the ideal setup. At least, wala makikinabang. Yung personal data mo, it stays there. Okay? Between you and the device that you are trying to give a command or talk to. Okay, so basically that's it. So I do not have a demo here right now. I don't have my device, but I have my device somewhere. Di ko lang siya nahalukay pa. So what are the resources that we can offer? All the source codes for WebThings WebThings project is available via GitHub, via WebThings.io. There's a discussion forum hosted by Mozilla via Discourse. The documentation is available via webthings.io/docs. And for our own implementation, you can go to iot.mozilla.org. Okay. Of course, you can ask questions. If we cannot answer them, we'll try to get someone to answer you via the social media channels. And if you have questions, now is the best time. So, sino ang may tanong? Feel free to unmute your mic if you have questions, or you may also use the chat box. If you have questions regarding IoT, IoT privacy, and Web of Things, or WebThings API.
No question ako, Sir Bob.
Yo, go
Kasi
ahead, sir. Yep.
Madilim na rito. Earth hour na.
Yeah, okay, go. Yes, sir, go. Yes, sir, Jose. You have a question?
Wala na, Sir Bob. Wala.
Okay, cool. Akala ko you have a question, kaya yun. Okay lang kung madilim dyan. Once a year lang naman yun eh. But you can have technically Earth hour any time of the year. So yun. For projects that are currently using this API, Mozilla Taiwan, even the community there, they have several weather stations and air quality monitors using this API. They have documentation. I'll check if they have translated it into English already. I saw that they have some English some parts of it translated into English, and I have to check. Even the schema, I saw that they have. It is somewhere in GitHub. So yun, if you want to build your own weather station, a portable one, and pinakamadali is the air quality monitor. Yeah, just needs several sensors. I think Arduino has a package that has the sensors that you need. Okay, hindi naman ganun kamahal ang Arduino. Pwede sa Shopee, sa Lazada, may Arduino nakita. Or if you're from the metro, sa Raon, marami akong nakita nagtitinda ng Arduino doon. So, medyo madali siya pag-aralan. Just if you're techy enough, kailangan mo lang is a computer or a device that has a USB port available.
Sir Bob, pwede pala sa drone yan. Ano?
Saan, sir?
Drone.
Sa drone? Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Pwede. If you want to automate things on a drone, pwede naman.
Kailan kaya available yung board na galing sa Taiwan?
Mahirap, sir, kasi hindi siya commercially available. We can ask them. It's a community project eh. Medyo mahirap magpadala kasi ngayon from there to here. Though magkapit bahay tayo pero kasi sarado yung border nila eh. So,
Pero saan? Sa Taipei o sa Kaohsiung?
Taipei.
Taipei, okay.
They're based in Taipei, yeah. Yun. The last time that I was there was before the lockdown. There's a community space in downtown Taipei.
Bob,
Yo,
question
yes,
sa pag-set up ng mga equipment kasi 'di ba? So, kung meron kang mga smart bulb and everything, kita yun sa lahat ng connected sa Wi-Fi mo. Tama ba?
By default, yes. Do sa network na same network na ginagamit nila.
Anong pwede mong gawin? Anong madali lang ba yun? So, yung question ko. Yun ang tayo simula. Madali lang ba yun to? Kasi right now dito, nagsishare kami ng Wi-Fi with the landlord eh. So, madali lang ba na, actually nakikita ko nga yung LG niya. Sabi ko nga kay Mrs. Minsan, bigla ko nga i-cast doon. Pinapanood ko. Pero madali lang ba to kind of, kahit na hindi na nila makita yon all that. VPN ba yun or what? Rebuild pa ba ako?
That's actually tunneling. Medyo technical siya, pero the fastest solution is if your router is able to create a separate SSID. So, pwede kang gumawa ng SSID na maybe different name dash IoT para at least puro IoT devices lang doon. Kasi kung
Puro yun lang.
Oo, that's the fastest kasi normally yun nga, if it is a closed ecosystem, yun yung pinakamadaling way nila para mag-interconnect eh. So alam ko yun, yung pag sa let's say Google products, they rely on the Wi-Fi connectivity. So lahat na nakakonect sa Wi-Fi, nakikita kahit nga yung TV nakikita ko pag connect sa Wi-Fi, so pwede kang mag-connect.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
Something like that. So,
Pero,
kahit sino pwede mag-cast.
Yun nga, kaya baka future project na yan pag hindi na nakaka-share ng Wi-Fi. Sige, thanks.
It's a feature na can make your life easier, pero it can also be something that can ruin your life pagka iba yung na-cast mo. So something, medyo ganon. Yun yung one is, privacy thing na hindi na we're trying to solve. So yun.
Yeah. Thanks.
Actually pati yung Wi-Fi pati yung smart TV ng kapitbahay nasasagap ko dito. Lumalabas sa Wi-Fi list. Nakalagay, may nakalagay dito na smart TV. So minsan connect kaya ako no. Tingnan natin kung ano pinapanood nila.
Oo. Pero yun yung parang simulan sa mga bulbs or something. Anyway, start small and then slowly get from there. So we'll see.
Pinaka-common would be smart bulbs and smart plugs. Pinaka-simpleng i-set up and pinaka-practical to have.
Sorry.
Go.
That, about plugs. Kasi ang may nakikita nga ako ganun, meron pang iba na hindi as, hindi as smart, pero parang automatic turn off just for safety, di ba? Pero anong ano dun, hindi ba delikado yun kasi kung bigla mong nasa-shutdown yung mga some equipment or piling equipment lang din ang lalagyan mo ng gano'n?
Oh yes, pili lang coach kasi let's say may nagtanong before is kung pwede ba daw gamitin sa aircon. So ko tingnan mo yung rating kasi normally yung mga gantong plug mababa yung mababa yung amperahe nila yung ampere.
Tama.
Uh,
Oo.
Masusunog to pag ginamit sa aircon. So meron ako
Mm.
nakita na smart plug but it is locally assembled. It's built for aircons. Sabi, yun ang claim nila. Pero I will not I will not try to experiment. Medyo mahal yung aircon and mahal pag nagkasunog. So, yun, medyo
Exactly. Oo.
for sa akin, the computer, yung monitor. The computer itself, hindi. Kasi 'di ba, pagka biglang namatay na hindi mo shutdown, baka masira naman yung operating system or yung machine mismo. So normally home appliance lang. Electric fan, yung mga charger, at least pag lumabas ka, alam mo na naiwan mo naka-on or yun. O kaya yung mismong extension kung saan siya para lahat ng nakakabit na devices mo doon, pagka namatay na yung smart plug, lahat sila patay technically. Tapos, yes, ang bibilin mo na smart plug is yung yung merong parang built-in na circuit breaker. Kasi yung iba talagang on-off lang sila eh. So, pagka nag-overload, baka nakakatakot din, baka biglang umapoy na lang eh.
Oo nga eh. Yung on-off, parang okay nga lang yung sa electric fan, tama. Yun, medyo safe pa yun eh.
Kasi technically, yung mga smart plugs, Bluetooth devices lang sila eh. Pero kailangan syempre may safety feature. So sinasabi kasi ng iba, yung may mga safety feature daw, mahal. And kaya nga sila mahal kasi may safety feature. So walang pinagkaiba yun eh. Walang pinagkaiba sa charger ng smartphone. Yung original na charger ng smartphone mo, siguro mga 1,000 pesos. Yung sa bangketa, 50 pesos. Pero pag nasunog yung bahay nyo, di ba? Nakatipid ka nga ng 900 pero nasunog naman yung bahay mo. And yeah, you have to balance things.
Yep. Thanks, Bob.
Yep. Okay.
Sir Bob.
Yo, yes sir.
Sir Bob, paano ba yung mga devices para sa air quality monitor at paano yung installation?
Okay. Yung sa akin, yung ginagamit ko, it's like this. Ano mo makikita? This one. Yan. Okay. It's a standalone device. It has Bluetooth connectivity. Merong ganito na walang Bluetooth din eh. Ang ano ko lang is, it's basically, it collects data and then it gets thrown into my smartphone. And from there, I can play with the data that it collects. So, ganun siya. Or, pwede siyang set using my smartphone, pwede ko i-set yung alarm. So, halimbawa, tumaas yung reading niya na it's on unsafe level. So, mag-pop up sa smartphone ko. So, pwede ko siyang iwanan na naka-on ba sa kwarto or this portable, pwede kahit pupunta ako sa labas, mayroon ako meeting, pwede kong ma-sense kung okay yung air quality do sa lugar na yon. So, kung if ever iwanan ko siya sa kwarto, masasabi niya kung nagbago yung air quality. So, I can alert people at home. Bakit nagbago yung air quality? Wala naman tao dun sa kwarto. Something like that. So, it can mean many things eh. So, pwedeng baka nakasensya na may usok or merong pollutant, etc. Pero, this is like an El Cheapo sensor. This is not, merong nabibili na professional sensor, yung mga katulad ng mga ginagamit sa mga gas station, pero medyo mahal eh. Parang mga nasa 3,000, 4,000 sila. This one is less than 1,000.
Sir Bob, yung hawak mo, anong measurement niyan in terms of ppm ba? Yung particles per ano?
Yep. Yun lang naman ang Yun ang ginagawa.
Anong air parameters niyan? Yung carbon dioxide o may SOx, NOx na? Ano?
This one, it's set for carbon dioxide. I think there's a sensor but I'm not using for the one is I think sulfur. Pero hindi ko siya
SOx.
mabilis kumain ng baterya pag in-on ko siya. Pero it has that capability. Merong nabibili na wala. Pero kasi yung app na ginagamit ko, hindi naman niya naiintindihan yung sa sulfur reading. So, hindi ko na rin siya ginagamit. So, it's more of the carbon dioxide lang. At least, I can play with those data.
Magkano yan, Sir Bob?
I think nasa 850.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Kasi naisip ko ngayon, pwede pala ilagay sa beehive yan.
Oh,
Kasi
yes.
yung bee, yung bee kasi, makakukuha siya ng parang siya yung magsasampling ng So sa beehive na lang ako i-create.
It also has pala, it has a built-in hygrometer. So,
Ayan,
yeah.
okay. So
Pwede.
may siya, humidity. Okay.
Kasi yung isang kaibigan ko is using it for, I think, their garden or something. Yung indoor planting niya. So, doon niya ginagamit.
Okay. Okay yan, Sir Bob. Okay.
Yun.
Okay.
Saan to? Sa Raon meron. Pero I think they're also in the e-commerce websites. Just look for, marami doon, pareho naman siya. Just look for yung kung ano yung feature na kailangan mo. By default, wala. Yung pinakamura nila, yung walang Bluetooth eh. So if you don't need the Bluetooth, meron silang ganun. So reader lang talaga. So ang primary connection niya Bluetooth. And then just look for a compatible app for it.
So kung may measurement pala yan ng carbon dioxide, ibig sabihin, mami-measure ko rin pala ang plant nutrient. Kasi yung CO2 mismo ang doon, primary player doon sa photosynthesis eh.
Maybe sir, I haven't tried, pero yeah, maybe.
Tapos yung fertilizer kasi NPK naman yon, nitrogen, phosphorus lalagyan ko na lang ibang sensor pala yon. Okay,
yes,
okay.
Or
Okay,
meron
sige.
merong sa Arduino, I think there's a sensor pack na pang ganun pang agriculture. Check it out, sir. Yung merong module or sensor pack na specifically yung gamit para sa mga ganung purpose.
Kasi ngayon ang current practice ng farmers kahit sa medium scale na farming, binubuhos lang nila yung fertilizer eh. Meron lang silang number of sacks per hectares. Alam naman natin na pag nilagay mo sa lupa yon, hindi naman ma-absorb lahat ng halaman yon eh. Yung iba mawawash out na ng tubig papunta sa river o kaya nandun lang sa lupa, ganon. So, yung naisip natin ngayon, kung meron pala tayong IoT doon, sabihin, ma-optimize natin yung use ng fertilizer. Na ibig sabihin, baka hindi one sack pala per given area, kundi kalahati lang kasi yan yung effective So, i-measure natin yun sa sa leaf o kaya sa stem o kaya dun sa fibrovascular bundle ng halaman, yung xylem tsaka yung phloem. So, makakat ko doon o kaya color leaf yung reaction doon sa photosynthesis. So, magkakaroon din pala ako noon. Yun.
Yes, sir.
Masisense pala ng sensor yun. Oo.
If you can try, tapos let us know the result para at least we can share the data or the technique.
Sige. Mag-set up ako. Salamat, Sir Bob.
Yes, sir. Salamat din po. Sino pa po ang may tanong? Anyone? Kurt, Jezreel, Coach, may tanong ko pa. Magandang umaga dyan. Ayun, medyo naging robot ka dun, Coach. Yo. Hey, John, you have a question? John Anthony. Okay? Do we have okay, sige. So kung wala nang tanong, so that wraps up our meetup for tonight. Today. So whichever part of the globe you are currently in. So we'll follow through via email. So I'll send the link for once this is uploaded. and also for some of the resources that I mentioned in my talk for tonight. So yun.
Sir
So
Bob,
yes,
bonus
sir.
na lang. Bonus overview for Rust programming. Bigyan mo lang kami ng overview.
Okay, sir. We can have that session. Medyo mahaba. We don't have that much time for tonight. Pero Rust programming is a systems programming language kasi, sir. So if you are interested, we are going to run a Rust 101 for absolute newbies in the coming days. So yun, medyo kukulangin tayo sa oras kahit na sabihin kong if I will be giving a very very short talk about Rust. Pero in essence, sir, it's a systems programming language. So if you
So
want
Sir
to
Bob, Sir Bob, nung
Yeah.
mga 70s parang yung machine language yan ano, dun sa IBM 360.
Medyo sir, medyo.
Machine language kasi hindi siya yung mga common system programming na ngayon. Kumbaga
Yeah.
na
So yun, it's a systems programming used by many companies, but it originated in Mozilla a few years back. So yun sir yung pinaka gist ng Rust programming. So now it's an independent project in as much as we want, pero hindi naman siya tinatawag na owned by Mozilla, but it is something that we support right now because the community is the one who's running it. So
open
maybe
source na yan ano, open source na
yes,
Sir
sir.
Bob.
It's open source. So maybe in one of our weekday sessions, we can have a 1 hour session run for Rust programming. Okay? So yun. So kung wala na pong tanong, yeah. That wraps up our meetup for tonight. Magandang gabi sa inyo lahat. Magandang umaga, tanghali, hapon. And ingat kayo kung nasaan man kayo. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye. Happy Earth Hour.
Okay.
Hi, yeah, happy Earth Hour. Bye-bye.